What up? We're talking about the top four reasons why you should live here in Leesburg, Virginia, and 3 reasons that maybe you should consider. What's up, everybody? It's Muoki. I'm a realtor here in Leesburg, Virginia. If this is your first time at the channel, how you doing? Glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. If you've been here before, go ahead and relax, sit back. We can get your popcorn ready. We can get started in a second. Remember, your phone is your friend. You can get me on my text, on my cell, my email, my IG, everything. Find me online. Get a hold of me however you can. I got your back if you're thinking of moving here to Leesburg, Virginia, or anywhere just around the area. So let's get into this thing. Top 4 reasons why you should move here. Number 1 is that Loudoun County and Leesburg are addressing, for millennials like me, the affordable housing crisis. Now, across the board, the median household income is $129,000. But the median age in Loudoun County is 35.8. I don't know where the point 8 comes from. But it seems like, and some professionals and analysts have pointed it out, it seems like Loudoun County is a place that seems to suggest that you can work here, but you can't live here. So there seems to be a disparity between between those who work here, those who live here, and the opportunity for those who work here to potentially try and see this as a place that they can also call home. So whether it's through new communities, new constructions from Van Meter, Mills Smith, or through different assistance programs with financing, Loudoun officials are looking to, in their words, create options for people who are at 0% or 100% of the median income and everywhere in between to at least have the option to pursue home ownership here in Loudoun County. So not saying that everybody's going to be able to get into it, but at least there will be options for everybody to at least consider this as being a place they can call home. The second reason that Leesburg is a place that you would want to call home is that it's diversifying. It's growing in terms of its cultural and racial makeup, as well as in terms of demographics. There are lots of people with young families, singles, couples, and everything in between. And one statistic that's interesting is that Loudoun County Public Schools have 57% of the student population are students of color. So what that really means is that the demographics are mirroring the way that society itself is changing. And so part of that too is that a lot of the ways that people engage with society in Leesburg is points to a more communal aspect, which is something that is important. This idea of community, this sense of belonging, is something that's really important for millennials and the generations after us. And so that's something that's becoming more and more apparent in the communities here in Leesburg that you should try out, come check out and call home. The third reason why you should move here to Virginia or to Leesburg is that this is it's a city that cares for its people. It's a city that cares for each other. Just last year, 52% of the population voted in the national election, and 21% of the population volunteered in some capacity over the last year. Now, when it comes to philanthropic giving, Loudoun County is not the best, but it's improving. And so that's something that's important, that's continuing to improve, and will only increase as time goes on with different organizations. One that comes to mind now is Mobile Hope, with the work that it was doing during the shutdown, and now moving forward, a lot of these organizations that are coming to prominence, more visibility, and will allow for more opportunities to get engaged, to volunteer, and to be a part of the community and help those who may not be as fortunate as us. The fourth reason to come and live in Leesburg is that we have a low average unemployment rate. The average household income is right around $120,000 per household. With the now with full-time employment, obviously, but also with flex work and also things like Instacart and DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. There are a lot of opportunities for people to stay financially stable while being able to afford the cost of living here. And so in a place like Leesburg, which is one of the most expensive cities in Virginia, the people that choose to live here generally have the means to do so. It's sometimes there are people who are living either in DC, Arlington, which is somewhere that's closer to something like work, and opportunities come through flex work, working from home, where they can afford comparable or higher housing options without being so close to the city, so they can get bigger homes for similar comparable prices. And so generally people that move to Loudoun County have an idea of what it's going to take to live here. All right, now 3 things that you may want to consider before moving to Leesburg. The first thing is the traffic and the congestion. Now, it's not so bad. With the way that things are going now with the pandemic and virtual work, flex work, not a lot of people are on the roads during rush hour or in the evening times, in the morning times. And so with, and also one of the things too, with Route 7, which is really the only major roadway other than the Dulles Greenway, which is $8 a toll, to get out of Loudoun to Fairfax, DC, so on and so forth. They've been doing construction for years now and have extended the amount of highway that does not have traffic lights in it. So they just took out the lights on Battlefield Parkway. They're still building the ramps. And so from the corner of the Route 7 West 15 intersection all the way to Dulles Town Center, there are no lights. It's smooth sailing all the way. Now, if you're traveling on 15, that's always going to be tough. That's a single lane for God knows how long. So that's always going to be a challenge. But if you're going more towards the Virginia side, not the Maryland or the West Virginia side, you should be good. The second thing you probably want to consider before moving here is that similar to the traffic is just the construction. They're building all the time. Not only so on Battlefield, you have the Battlefield intersection ramps being built. You've got Goose Creek, the former golf course, has been converted into a housing development. You've got Van Meter that's building literally all of Leesburg, all of Loudoun County, really. Miller Smith. You've got so much construction going on. Leesburg is in a building phase. There's a considerable amount of money and energy that's being put into the city now for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line. And so it's a little bit of growing pains. But when phases finish and move on to the next, you can enjoy the new phases. It really is something pretty cool. I remember when the village at Leesburg was just coming up. I mean, it was a pain, but now it's one of the hottest spots in really all of Loudoun County. So just something you got to bear with for a while. But when it gets good, it gets real good. And the third thing that you want to consider probably is closer to, I mean, these 3 things are more just that have to do with development, with Leesburg and what it's building itself to be in the future. And so, Loudoun County is a suburb. It's kind of a suburb outside of the suburbs, right? So particularly Leesburg. And so you don't have a lot of that city feel. Things aren't always as close as as you would like them to be. You got to travel 10, 15, 20 minutes to get to a restaurant. So a lot of times you won't, things that maybe would be close to you if you lived in a city that was closer together or lived in an urban center. Just you're not going to get that here. And so if you're looking for like a lot of variety, it's going to take some getting used to. But if you're open to just experiencing how Leesburg makes itself unique, and the offerings that it has to its residents, it can be pretty cool. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be it's not a metro center. It's not an urban center. It's a suburb, and there's a lot of space between stuff that you got to travel towards. But it's got a lot to offer, and you can make tons of memories here. So that's all I got. This is 3 things. Leesburg is growing. We're in a bit of an adolescent phase, growing up, but even now there's still things that come up that are pretty cool that you can get to be a part of. And that's all I got. Top 3 things to think about. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything, if there's anything I should have talked about that I didn't. And if this video is helpful for you, just give me a thumbs up, subscribe, let somebody know who you think might be helpful for as well. I want to make this as beneficial to you as possible. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It's been real. Until the next time, take care.